Just as diamonds shine from pressure.
You should have seen the way that you bloom.
Hey everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome back to my channel. And yes, I am finally back and we have more DIYs coming your way. I did some polymer clay earrings on my last video and I did it again, and I have to say that I definitely stepped up my game. I hope that you guys think so as well. I made it a little bit more fancy. Enough with the chit chat. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. Let's go. Hello, and we're back with more clay art. I have my white as my base for my earring, and the rest is just for the flowers and the petals. I'm just going to roll out my base. You want to try to keep it as even as possible. If you want, you put popsicle sticks on the side and then roll it. That way you know that it's going to be even throughout. Then I want to take some sandpaper and just roll it on top of the clay. Don't push down too hard or else it'll get stuck, but you're going to add some texture to your base. And of course you couldn't see it, but trust me, it's there. Then I'm going to just take some cutters and cut out 2 circles. Now I'm just taking the smaller cutter and cutting out the inside of the bigger one. Now you're going to take something sharp like an X-Acto knife and cut out a little less than 1/4 of this ring, and then you could take that piece that you just cut out, put it on top of the other one so they're both the same size, and that's going to be the base of your earring. Set that to the side, and now it's time to work on the vines and leaves. You're just going to take a little piece of the green and just roll it out as thin as possible. That's just going to be where the vine is, so it's up to you how thick you want it. I did mine pretty thin, and then I just took one of the base and kind of just shaped it into the vine shape that I wanted. Now that you got your vine down, it's time to work on the leaves, and I have to say this is probably like the hardest part because my fingers are like sausage fingers. They're huge, so making this tiny little thing was a little bit tough, but it's okay. I got the hang of it. What you're going to do is just make a little ball, and then you're going to put that right onto the vines, and then you're going to take a needle and make a little line right in the middle of your leaf, and then for the edges you're just going to make it a little bit pointy, and there you go, you got your leaf. Once you're done with the vine and the leaves, it's time to work on the flower, and here I'm just making the petals for the flower, just taking little tiny pieces of the pink clay, rolling that into a ball, and then placing that onto the base in the shape of a flower. Grab your needle again, and then on the pointy end per each petal, you're going to make 3 indent lines, molding that towards the center of the flower. Now for the center of the flower, all you're going to do is just take a little bit of the tan clay and make a little circle and place it right in the center, and that's pretty much one of your flowers. Now you're going to alternate the colors and make the other flowers different color. If you want, you don't have to make full flowers. You can make little tiny half flowers. That's what I did here. I just made 2 little balls for like the pink colors and made it kind of like a half flower, if you know what I mean. And this is how the design ended up looking like. I thought it was super adorable for the spring, but now you have to make up another one because of course you want a pair of earrings and not just one. We're not done yet. We're going to take the pink and the tan and roll that up. Make sure that you're mixing it thoroughly so there's not 2 different colors. Then just rolling that out, taking your cutter of your circle and cutting out 2 little circles. Then of course you're going to make your little holes for where the rings are going to be after you bake. I think it is so much easier than drilling holes later on, but that's totally up to you. Now on to our second DIY. I'm going to grab some white clay as well as this transparent clay. I haven't worked with it before, so I was really excited to, try this out. I'm just going to chop off the clay, make it into little cubes, and then breaking that apart, making sure that it incorporates together so we have a good variety of both the white and the transparent. Now I'm going to grab my silver flakes and just sprinkling that all over the clay and then mixing it in together. And mix it together and then make it into a shape of a log. Then grab some of your silver flakes, just place it down and roll that whole log all around the flakes to create like this silver, log, and then just chop it up. And I think people actually use glue to make these stick together, but I tried my best and it still didn't work out, so I ended up just rolling it into a ball like usual. And I have to say that I'm really happy I did that because look how cool, majestic looking. I think that's the wrong word, but it just looks really cool with like the transparent clay as well as the white and the silver. Looks amazing. I'm just cutting that out into the earring shape that I like. And yeah, we're just pretty much done with this earring. Just dotting out the holes where the rings will go and boom. Because I really loved how the last one looked, I needed to try it again, so I'm just taking some transparent clay as well as the white one, mixing it together, rolling it into a ball, and then just flattening it out. Again, if you want it to be nice and even all around, use some popsicle sticks. I definitely recommend it. I wish I had some, or else, you know, I would have used it. But anyways, I'm just going to take this diamond cutter and just cutting out, you know, the areas that I thought was the nicest. Just taking my scrap clay and mixing that together, making it kind of like this pink tone that's kind of a little bit more neutral. And it wasn't as pink as I wanted, so I'm just taking this mica powder color and mixing that together. Normally, if you have like the liquid color, that would probably work better because this one made the clay a little less sticky because it's kind of a powder. And then I'm just taking some scrap clay that I used in my previous DIYs and just rolling that into like a really thin vine, kind of like the first one that we did, but a little bit more thin. And this is kind of like the branch of like the design that I wanted to create. I wanted to create kind of like a cherry blossom looking design. You'll see in the end what I'm talking about. I tried my best to make it kind of look like cherry blossoms. I mean, it was close enough. And now it's time to work on the flower petals, and because my fingers are so big, sausage fingers, sorry, this is just for demonstration purposes only, just taking a piece of the clay, rolling it into a ball, and then just shaping it into like a teardrop shape. Just kind of pressing down and making a little angle, just like that, kind of like a little seed, I guess. I'm going to do the same thing, but to a much smaller piece of clay. You're going to do that for a couple flowers, and then you're going to just place it into the shape of a flower. Make sure to not press down onto the flower too much because you don't want the petals to be flat. You want it to be kind of like a 3D shape. Here I'm just creating a little bit more detail of the flower, just making little tiny lines, strips of clay right into each petal of the flower. And it just creates a little bit more dimension into the flowers. And now just gently place it onto the branches, and there you go. I thought it would look a little nicer with some greenery, so I added some leaves. So because I work with so many neutrals, I wanted a pop of color, so I'm just taking this purple clay, flattening that out, and of course that's going to be our base. And then we're going to take some white clay, and we're actually going to cut some flowers out using this fondue cutter. Sorry, not fondue, fondant cutter, and just cutting that flower shape out. Once we're done with getting the flowers, I'm going to take the end of my pen actually, because I didn't have like a smaller little circle cutter, and just cutting out the inside of the flower. And there you go. I thought it was super cute. Just placing that all over my base, and that's going to be kind of like the design that we're going for. Now we're done with the flowers. Make sure you just press it onto the base so it sticks, and then just take your circle cutter and cut out the design. Look how adorable these designs came out. I thought it was so cute, but of course I wanted to make like a unique earring style, so that's why I cut off like the edges of the circle, and that's how it turned out. This is what it looks like after baking. Don't they look so good? I thought it was so pretty. Look at that. Wow. But we're not done yet. I'm going to take this UV resin and place it onto some of the earrings because I wanted more of a shiny look rather than just like the dull matte look. That's why I'm putting it onto this design and taking my UV light that I use for my nails and just placing that over and curing it for a good, I think I did it for like a minute and 30 seconds just in case. So sad that I didn't film this one because I thought it turned out one of the best ones that I've made. I just took the transparent clay and mixed it up with some color, and that's how the design turned out. If you want to see how I made it, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll try to recreate it. What I also forgot to film was me filing all the edges down so it's nice and clean. So how did you guys like the earrings in today's video? I have to say that I really did step up my game. It's a lot more fancy looking compared to my last video, but they're still really cute. Give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!